Well, again, thank you for joining me. I'm really excited about this interview, and we'll just start with telling me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my full name is Jose Victor Figueroa Cifuentes. Most people just call me Jose. Makes life a lot easier. Um, I was born in Los Angeles, lived in Guatemala for a few years, moved to Alabama, and I've been here ever since. So pretty much Alabama is my state. Russellville, that's pretty much where I grew up. So I came to UNA as an undergrad, loved it, and they offered me a job after graduation. So here I am today working at UNA, working on my master's and hopefully another degree after I'm done with this one. So we'll see how life goes after that.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on all of your accomplishments. I know that you were very successful at UNA, and it seems that that success is just continuing to carry on into your graduate career. So, congratulations on that type of work that you're doing. But obviously, the purpose of this interview is to discuss volunteerism. So, can you tell me a little bit about what volunteerism means to you and a little bit about your volunteer experience?
Yeah, so volunteerism for me pretty much just means dedicating some of my time that I have available to help something or someone else. And that came almost as a purpose in life because when we came to this country, that's one of the things my mom always needed help with. Working, she gets stuff done here in the U.S. And so one of the things that she learned is helping others. And by helping others, she started making connections, finding better jobs, and also, just learning the language. So for me, always hearing her stories growing up, I realized, volunteering is a big thing. And one of the biggest things that my mom got me into is volunteering a safe place. There's always a need for so many different females, and being raised by all females, that's something I have a very distinct point of view, realizing that in the Hispanic community, we have different cultures. So translating, for me is a breeze, but like for someone else who actually needs that help could mean the world to them. So knowing that I have an opportunity to help someone and volunteer some of my time to them makes a huge impact in their lives. So anytime that I have some free time and I can do anything, I try to sign up as much as I can. And I enjoy it. It's just very rewarding. You don't ask anything in return, but it just enlightens you. And so a little bit with getting involved not only with Safe Place, also with some of the police departments. They've had cases where they've needed translators. And as an undergrad here at UNA, there was definitely multiple opportunities to get involved with. I've met so many of my friends now through volunteering at UNA, and if there's one thing I regretted was not volunteering my freshman year because I was concerned that there wasn't going to be enough time. Um, and I was extremely wrong. There's plenty of time to dedicate even 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes could be life changing. And so I've enjoyed it, and I still do it as much as I can, working as a full time student, doing my master's, and dedicating my afternoons to see where I can help. Right now, it's been a little challenge with COVID, but we're still making it through. Nothing can stop dedicating your time to participate in something. So I truly enjoy it.
I think that is absolutely beautiful. And I would also agree that I think volunteerism to me is also like giving of yourself. I love everything that you said about what volunteerism means to you. It was really beautiful how you tied in your family history and everything like that. Can you give me some more detailed examples of the volunteer work you've done?
So growing up, we're going to get a little bit more in detail then about my personal life. We lived through Safe Place. We were there for 4 months. So growing up, I had to grow up really quick as a child. So I personally wouldn't say I had like a normal childhood. I really had to grow up. And one of the things is while we were living there, I would see how some of the kids were handling, going through or witnessing or going through domestic violence. So I kind of like became a little counselor for them, and we would always talk to kids and just talk to them about, hey, everything's gonna be fine. And then after we left, we kept on coming back. So we became speakers as well to the females. Um, One of the things that I always find out is that when you have a unique opportunity to speak and make a difference in someone else's life, um, yeah, I take advantage of that as much as possible. You know, safe place not necessarily is just for domestic violence. You know, where victims are female, they're also males, but the majority of them are females, and so when they would hear my mom and my sisters talk about domestic violence and how you can overcome this, it made a bigger impact when I came to the picture. And then I would tell them, you don't need to be with that partner. You don't need to be with someone who's not going to take care of you or doesn't care about you. You have kids. And then they would talk about how is that going to impact their kids. The domestic violence cycle is just going to repeat if they saw you know um, their parent witness that and go through that. And I tell them no, because I'm a product of that. I witnessed things since I was probably 5 years old, and I have vivid memory, and it feels like it was just yesterday. And I tell them I studied domestic violence. Like, my passion is trying to see what can we do to reduce domestic violence, and look at all the statistics behind everything. Like, it made a huge impact in me, and it really influenced me on wanting to make a difference, and especially in females' lives. Like, again, domestic violence is not a specific gender, but it does revolve more around females. So it does make a bigger impact when the females want to go back to their husbands or boyfriends or whoever, and then I come as a guy and tell them, hey, you don't need to be with that guy because he's obviously not doing this, listening to you, any non-consent physical contact. That's not what you should do. So it's almost in a way I volunteer as a speaker counselor, and definitely once a year, my mom and I, we do this duo thing. When she first told her story about domestic violence, and when she first did it, she did it in Spanish. So every year we, Safe Place has like your speaker survivor coming in, and my mom and I, we do our tag team. She tells her story in Spanish, and I'm translating everything she says in English. And it never changes. It never gets easier every year. There's always those moments where you kind of have to relive it, but then you have to be positive that there is something better on the other side. It's hard in the beginning, but those are life experience that you just learn to overcome. And if you have kids, it's like we tell them it's gonna be fine. It's your purpose and how you see life that your kids will follow you. And I feel like my biggest purpose in life is my mom. She's done everything for me, so my mom and sisters mean the world to me. I would do anything for them. So helping them as much as possible is amazing. And then helping Save Place whenever they do need help is just, I mean, they helped us, when we were homeless. So being here today is just an amazing opportunity. And also as an undergrad, I actually interned at one place of the Shoals. So I got to witness a little bit more in depth with the law enforcement side of domestic violence. Got to look over some cases and actually look at some statistics here in the Shoals. Um, you know, Sometimes we feel like a lot of areas are safe, and then we look at more in depth and realize there's still a lot of um, areas that we still need to fix. So for me, that really impacted me as an undergrad, and I'm like, I want to continue doing this. What else can I do to help out, specifically this city or this area? But I know this is a national thing as well, if not a international thing. But for me, volunteering with Safe Place or anything that deals with domestic violence, for me, I don't even think twice about it. I'm like, sign me up. So I enjoy it and try to find solutions. Critical thinking is my biggest thing. So where can we, think outside the box, and where can we find solutions for, what's going on? So,
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. I know from personal experience that it is not easy to talk about your experiences. And I think it's a testament to how brave you are and how powerful your story is. I love that you talked about how you volunteered with one place. I feel like much like Safe Place, one place is something that's not as advertised or talked about. So thank you for talking about that. I just, again, really appreciate you taking the time to come and tell your story because it is important, especially from a male perspective. So I think it is important to demonstrate that regardless of your gender, you can take a stand against domestic violence and you can contribute to volunteering with domestic violence shelters and organizations. But I think it's very powerful that you're here and that you're telling your story. And I also think it's a testament to your success. I mean, your success through UNA and your success through your life is a demonstration that your past does not define who you are, that domestic violence does not define who you are. What advice would you give to someone about volunteering, whether it's with a domestic violence organization or not?
my advice that I had to learn this quick is sometimes we get so eager to volunteer for everything that we don't have enough time now. So my biggest thing has always been like have a planner, have a schedule. Make sure, especially if you're an undergrad or someone going to school, to make sure you have time to dedicate to school and homework. Or if you go to work, make sure you have your times out. You're not overworking yourself, and then look at the times that you have available, and then work around that schedule. And so having a planner, realizing that we can make mistakes, but it's going to be fine. Just go back. 5 minutes is 5 minutes. That 5 minutes could literally change an entire path for someone. There's so many different opportunities for volunteerism that it doesn't necessarily have to be like domestic violence. It could be animal shelters. It could be, just packing books. I remember I did that for an elementary school. I did, like, it was on my birthday, my 21st birthday. I was excited. I was packing all these books. I was at Auburn packing books for, poverty schools. So it's like, there's so many opportunities to volunteer that we honestly, we think sometimes too much about ourselves. How are we going to look if we're late, or how are we going to look if we start doing something that we don't like? But as long as you have that main purpose in your life, like, why are you doing it? I mean, the opportunities are endless. So I would definitely say, but my biggest thing is the plan around your schedule. Don't overwork yourself. But other than that, you're going to be fine.
I love that idea. And I swear, in all of the work that I've done, no one has ever looked at me and said, get a planner dedicated to volunteering. Like, I absolutely love that idea. All right. Do you have any last advice or any last words?
um, Other than, enjoy life as much as you can. Every day we have a new opportunity to start all over again, do something that we couldn't do yesterday. So take every day, as a blessing, and make the most out of it. You'll realize when you're in certain circumstances that you start appreciating how much time you have in a day. So that would be my biggest thing. When you wake up, just remind yourself, today's a new day. If yesterday didn't go as planned, it's okay. You can keep on going. If you have opportunities to sign up for something else, look at your planner and realize, hey, I still have an extra 3 hours on Tuesdays, and I'm done with homework. I don't have work or anything. Why not sign up for something else? There's multiple things being promoted by organizations on social media. There's flyers all over the place. So there's plenty of things to get involved with.
Absolutely. Well, I have enjoyed this thoroughly. Thank you so much again for sharing your brave story. I really think that it's important for us to have these conversations about volunteerism. And I'm just so thankful that you decided to interview with me today.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Hopefully, someone's going to get this message and we'll see them going out and making a difference in someone else's life, or making a difference in their own life. But thank you so much for this. I truly enjoyed it.